Hey everyone, Joe Weisman here. And you're tuned into the Illinois Business Playbook. Big ideas, bold stories, local impact. Let's make some noise. Hey, welcome to the Illinois Business Playbook. This episode is brought to you by Byte Outfitters, where websmithing is done right. We have Leticia here from Real Finance Group. Leticia, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, keep that energy going. I love it. The last time I actually saw you in person, which would, I guess, be the only time, but unless computers work, then I've seen you other times. But we actually had an opportunity to meet at a networking group that myself and Neha, my wife, went with. Can you talk about the importance of those networking groups to kind of get the word out about all the wonderful things you're doing with your organization?
Sure, of course. The word networking always makes me nervous because I'm I'm not an outgoing person that can talk to strangers easily, and networking always makes me nervous. But this event, I realized that networking is super important to stay in business. I've learned that the hard way. I've learned that in many good ways. That networking is one of the places where you can meet people and really put yourself out there so people can recognize you and your business.
Have you set a cadence for yourself? I mean, how many times a month do you try to get out there and kind of get the word out in those type of formats?
So as a business person and an accountant, it's very difficult to drive both titles because accountants have working seasons. And because I'm a very hands-on operational, CEO, I delve into my work and into my clients at least 95% of the time. The other 5%, I try to network. So it's really difficult to network during tax season, during audit season, and we have 4 of those going on every year. So
That's
I
it?
think I only have 2 months that I have for myself, July and August. That's it.
Okay.
That is the only time I'm free.
Well, thank goodness that again, that happened to be the time we got to meet you, because it's been wonderful to get to know you. Let's talk about Real Finance Group. Let's talk about what inspired you, what motivated you to start your business up.
Sure, absolutely. So I've always wanted to have my business since I was in high school. I didn't know what it was going to be. I had no idea. All I knew in high school was that I wanted to be the owner of a company. Whose company? Mine, maybe someone else's. I don't know.
Right.
As I graduated high school, my first job was being an accountant, doing accounting work, clerical work in accounts payable, purchasing, payroll, the diligence work. After 25, 30 years of being someone's employee, I didn't have the autonomy to do the quality work that I wanted to do. Trying out the different skills, the different tools, resources, and ideas that I had, it was too constraining. So in resolving problems in organizations such as a private business, a nonprofit, which are 2 of my favorites, by the way, it was difficult to get some of the work done because there was different rules that need not apply to me.
Sure.
So I wasn't allowed to step out of my hat as an accountant. I wanted to do business operations as well. I knew what impacted the business as a financial person. So in 2020, 2021, I started getting a lot of demand from entrepreneurs trying to clean up their business taxes or their personal taxes so they can start a business. You can't start a new business without having your financial things in order. So I was getting a lot of, I need to redo my taxes. I got this tax letter and I can't start my business. So that demand just got worse, not worse, but better, I guess, after 2020 because of the COVID. So I decided I might as well make this official. So I started my LLC. I became an S Corp and I started targeting nonprofits, which, by the way, also operate almost, grassroots. Because I was so familiar with nonprofits after 25 years of working with them, I started to apply those same criteria into small businesses so they can scale up and grow.
Nice. Now, what sort of obstacles have you dealt with from when you begun that journey to start your business?
I think some of the obstacles was knowing who to go to for certain things, such as marketing, IT, things like that. So every business owner needs their toolbox of resources. So as I was growing, I was saving my toolbox. I was vetting vendors. I was vetting clients and other sources that I can share with my clients or with my network. For example, IT, doing the research and interviewing, that takes a lot of time. health insurance, risk insurance, liability insurance. That takes a lot of time to research. So with the experience that I do it for every client, I vet those vendors, those insurance companies, those IT people, the marketing people, in knowing who is worth working with, who is reliable, who's dependable. So learning a new resource or a new vendor, that's what networking is. So I collect those different vendors, bankers, insurance, 401k people, real estate. So I have an armor of who is really great in what they do and which relationship would be fitting mostly. And sometimes it's really just the basis of cost. Who can afford who? So those are the people that I refer to with my network or clients.
Now, so with those clients, Leticia, obviously, a big part of being a successful business owner is to acquire your customers, keep your customers, and grow your customers. So what sort of strategies do you put in place to grow that customer base?
Sure. A lot of the what I've seen work is a lot of word of mouth. In my industry or in my profession, I think trust is such a huge issue that if you're looking for an accountant, you usually rely on someone who's already used them or has heard of somebody who's already spoke great things about. Starting out, it's like looking for a car. Buying a car is saying, oh, have you bought a car from this dealer or this person? It's reliable because they gave you a good deal. They didn't push you. They didn't upsell you, and they respected you and trusted you as well. And we're very transparent. And so I try to do the same thing. So when somebody refers me, I'm transparent. They understand that I am able to do the job. And along the way, they learn something, because my priority and my main purpose of having my business is to become an educational resource for my clients in any network. And that is why I do a lot of the workshops.
To be a resource means you need to be aware of the trends in your industry. You've been
Correct.
doing it for a while, so I'm sure that you've seen some alterations along the way. What sort of future trends do you anticipate, and how do you plan on dealing with those?
So AI is one of the biggest things in the finance and accounting industry right now. There's a lot of speaking and a lot of conferences that are prioritizing the conversation about AI and how that's going to be integrated into our work. Financial reporting is such a huge issue with making sure that they're accurate and that they're on time. But accuracy is more of a different definition on who you're speaking with. So AI, I know, is super important that they can integrate that with the daily routine. So that's one of the things that I've been working with. There's a lot of conferences with the IACPA that provide this type of resource. So I'm always staying on top on those things to see where I'm able to integrate some of that in my own business. But the most thing that I'm really looking forward to is updating and making more of the operational day-to-day tasks more efficient. So then its time is cut in half, and providing that accuracy reporting to our clients.
But you are so passionate about what you do. I want you to share with the audience a feel-good story, somebody that you've helped out, something that's put a big old smile on your face and kind of
Oh my gosh.
confirmed that what you're doing is the right thing.
Gosh, every time I work with someone, or the projects last a few weeks to several years. I have clients that have been with me for several years since inception, and I've also had short-term clients. And I think the short-term clients are the best ones for me because they get the aha moment a lot faster because they're short and sweet. I had a client who had a school, and she was starting her own school. It was a nonprofit, and she came to me because she got my name from the state directory, and was looking for somebody who knew nonprofits and grant management. So she reached out scared because she wasn't sure where to start. And she was so sweet. And we started out from scratch, getting her financial, fiscal policies and procedures, trying to understand how to even get a bank account cleaned up with her business name. There was a confusion with what is a business and what is personal because somehow her paperwork got mixed up, and they used her social security number instead of her federal tax ID.
Okay.
And she was really stressing out. She was losing sleep and worried about, did she have to close her school? But
No.
once I got the documentation ready from her, I asked her, give me your W-9, give me this and give me that, just legal documents that she filed her business. She had filed it incorrectly with the state and with her grant. And I explained to her that there were two different things happening. And because they were done in different phases of her journey in her business, she was providing the information she had at that time. Everyone makes that kind of mistake. You don't know what they're supposed to be given. So what we did is I gave her instructions. We refilled out the application and the forms, and she was able to get paid from the grant once we cleaned it up. And she was super happy. She thought she was going to lose her school.
That's a great story. That's a great one. You'd mentioned workshops and stuff like that earlier. Is there anything upcoming that you're hosting or that you want to tell everyone about real quick?
Sure. So I started a 90-day entrepreneurship program this year, and that is targeting startup companies in whatever industry you're in to help set up those type of entities when they start their business, and also making sure that they are registered with the IRS correctly so they don't have a tax letter with a balance due at the end of the year.
Sure.
So I'm taking that program to the next level next year. And what I want to do is create a series of workshops where individuals and business owners can actually go from individual to starting their own business and what those steps are.
Nice.
At that time, I'm going to be providing those type of resources. And hopefully everyone starts their business smoothly with the right mindset and then go into the next phase, which is really understanding their numbers when they're making their money.
Beautiful. Leticia, what's the best way that people can reach out to you, that they can contact you to learn more about all the beautiful things you're doing with Real Finance Group?
Well, that's easy. My email is the fastest way to reach me because I'm always on my laptop, so my email will come up. My email is info@realfinancegroup.com. It's info@realfinancegroup.com, or my cell phone, 312-607-1221. That's a direct reach out to me by text or phone.
Well, Leticia, once again, I know Neha would say the same thing I'm saying here too. What a pleasure it was for us to meet you. What a pleasure it was for us to interview you. I hope you have a beautiful day, okay?
Thank you so much, Joe. I appreciate that.